Thank you, Dr. Simons, for inviting today's peek at centers. The Food Innovation Center, or FIC, has thrived since April 2010 and built a great portfolio. In our short time today, I share online highlights with apologies for all the great food researchers that I failed to mention. Hold questions to the end, as this will be short. The FIC funded almost $2 million in research awards that leveraged more than $11 million in external research thanks to our food collaborators. This is the cover of our original proposal and our original team. The FIC was funded by central funds from the Office of Academic Affairs. It's one of two centers of innovation picked in a major centers competition by then Provost Joe Oluto and then President E. Gordon Gee. I was the FIC director along with these four exceptional co-directors, Mark Bahia, Michael Lieblein, Steve Clinton, and Steve Schwartz. We attracted exceptional staff members, notably Caitlin Fritz and Julie Manning, who made FIC work so well. Each individual is special, but I want to thank first former Haas Endowed Chair Stephen J. Schwartz, who made this and next week's seminar possible. When I recruited Steve from NCSU, he brought with him the NSF IUCRC, or the Industry University Cooperative Research Center, the only NSF center in food. This is now our CAP center led by Professor Denny Heldman. In a letter of offer to Steve, I asked that he do something good with tomatoes. Steve did that and more, starting the CAFRI group, as we'll hear later today from CAFRI Director and Professor Yael Vodovots. Steve started the self-sustaining NPASER, or Nutrient and Phytochemical Analytics Shared Research Center, a very easy acronym and name to remember, in a unique core collaboration with the OSU Medical Center and renowned physician scientist Steve Clinton. Steve led the successful food discovery theme proposal for metabolomics, renamed Food for Health by Director Mark Failla, and now directed by distinguished Professor Devin Peterson. It's no small feat that the Research Centers tab on our department homepage lists these centers or endowments for which Steve Schwartz was the chair, director, or co-founder of 7 of these thriving team efforts. If you visit our homepage at fic.osu.edu, you will find our mission to improve global life quality by inspiring sustainable multidisciplinary food solutions. Our drop-down directory now connects 281 members in every college at Ohio State. Our key initiatives include Food for Health, Food Safety, Food Policy, Food for Billions, Food Mapping, and Hunger Food Health. Most important, we have an umbrella organization engaging researchers from every college under a passionate goal of food improvement.
The FIC had its origins in building and establishing an umbrella organization to allow these faculty members in many different disciplines to get to know one another, learn more about what different faculty members do in terms of their research. We then facilitate putting faculty members together and ask them to form teams to tackle new and different research endeavors that maybe they weren't doing as individuals, but yet are extremely important.
We are a major university that knows food is key to planetary survival. Much to our credit, Ohio earns a reputation for quality science for human enhancement through food. Ohio State's Vice President for Research, Morley Stone, recognized our commitment in his first week on the job.
In front of this assemblage, I'll make a commitment to you publicly. And that commitment, certainly on part of Jeff and Ken and the Julie, is my commitment to make sure that this topic of human enhancement, especially through nutritional means, continues to be a high priority item here at this university.
The Food Innovation Center's Obesity and Chronic Disease Summit, in partnership with Nationwide Children's Hospital, featured former FDA Commissioner David Kessler as we exchanged innovative ideas on strategies to prevent or treat our national obesity epidemic. Our center's key initiative, called Food for Billions, is a call to action for feeding 10 billion people on the planet by the year 2050. It attracted more than 200 academics, policymakers, community organizers, and industry leaders to brainstorm, innovate, and imagine food systems that sustain a planetary society. Our first Dietary Guidelines Summit was kicked off by U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown, who connects Ohio jobs to food innovation.
My thanks to Ohio State's Food Innovation Center for inviting me to speak, and especially for the important work that you do. To those of you not fortunate enough to be from our state, welcome. I hope you enjoy our capital city. There's no question that agriculture is important to our state. 1 in 7 Ohio jobs is connected to agriculture and food. But we have so much untapped potential, and that's where our innovation comes in.
We have untapped potential for the science of food in improving the human condition. The vice president before Marley Stone was our longest serving vice president for research, Carol Whitaker, who saw it this way.
So Ohio State is leading the conversation about how evidence-based science can improve human health. And the Food Innovation Center has really led that way in defining how that evidence on food links to human health. We've made a strategic decision, as Ken first talked about, to invest in the hire of nearly 400 new faculty members in health, food, and energy and the environment in a program called the Discovery Themes.
You will learn more next week about Discovery Themes from Professor Peterson. Our DGA event gained national attention, leading to an encore DGA summit within the year. The National Geographic continually focuses on food. Nat Geo was a key partner in delivering our message at the right place and right time. This event was strategically held at their national headquarters just a few blocks from the United States Congress. Our key takeaways were distributed widely and had national impact. Among the many keys was a paradigm shift. Better for you foods fail less in the market today than ever before. Good for you is good for business and mutually advances the public health. Our second DGA summit delivered the message directly to national leaders, both by proximity and follow-up in widely read congressional publications such as The Hill. We joined with the J School to spread the truth about food. We enjoy a partnership with Nina Techholz, the author of the New York Times bestseller, The Big Fat Surprise. Here we have a former national public radio journalist who uncovered a glaring lack of science behind current federal dietary LFHC, low-fat, high-carb advice. Many call Nina by various names, but one I can repeat is a bulldozer for truth in nutrition. The role of science in journalism remains a challenge for every student in this seminar. Ohio State is now a center of excellence in the first testament on low-carb diets and what I call the golden age of ketogenesis, with the opposing acronym LCHF, low carb, high fat. On our faculty is this renowned scientist, Professor Jeff Volek.
So it would have been hard to predict at the beginning of my career I'd be standing here today brushing shoulders with this high caliber group of scientists and empiricists discussing the breadth of provocative research on low carbohydrate diets. Honestly, it's a little surreal.
One of the highest caliber scientists Jeff refers to is Professor Tim Noakes, who received an unstoppable standing ovation from our overcapacity waitlisted crowd before he spoke a single word. He is the South African scientist who was twice tried in multi-million-dollar lawsuits and found not guilty, both times, for tweeting those 4 letters LCHF.
I tweeted in response to a request about infant feeding, and I finished up adding in a little bit, and I said, a key is to wean baby onto LCHF. And then I'd run out of characters. There was 140 characters at that point. So immediately the lady who was head of the Association with Dietitians of South Africa read it and was very angry. And she reported me to the Health Professional Council within 9 hours.
The vested interest in defending the high-carb, low-fat diet are, they're enormous. And I don't think he understood what he was taking on. Really, none of us have understood the power of that, the establishment that we've taken on.
These verdicts proved evidence-based science prevails over political tweets, perhaps a remedy that we may need in our own national discourse.
This dietary advice is the worst thing that's ever happened in medicine. I don't think there's anything that matches it. And we have to keep fighting, and we have to honor all the people who've said things like this. We can't stop. We have to fight it. When I go home to South Africa and I see the poor people and the way they're eating and their ill health, we have to change that. It's simply genocide.
Visit our FIC website, as the entire Keto Summit is now streaming there. Several FIC projects inspire research on the next generation of food. Here is one nationally reported FIC team effort.
So that's our starting material.
Back at Ohio State, Dr. Clinton and his team are working hard on the next generation of food, hoping cleaning your plate will one day also mean preventing disease. Dr. Nancy Snyderman, NBC News, Columbus, Ohio.
Our centers of excellence have a common vision, and I'm pleased so many students are attending today. After all, students are the messages this faculty sends to the future.
I really look forward to a time when all foods are both healthy and safe, so every person on the planet can live a full, productive life.
We hired Dr. Barbara Kowalczyk, who is now going to share her passion and her center for food safety. Thanks for listening.